So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. And in today's video, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Last season in Memphis is one that I think Grizzlies fans would like to forget. This team ended up finishing with a record of 27-55. They ended up as the 13th seed in the Western Conference, and overall, it was really just the season from hell for Grizzlies fans. Now, this is obviously an extremely talented team. The talent is never the problem. It was never the question. But last season started off with a 25-game suspension for Ja Morant. He comes back, gets injured, is out for the remainder of the season, and then the injury bug just basically hit everybody on the team. It felt like every single role player, star player, anybody that was wearing a Grizzlies uniform was injured at some point last season. So, of course, it was not a fun one, and our goal today is to continue to build upon the really good foundation this team already has and hopefully get them a championship. Let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section, slowly but surely making our way through all 30 teams. That is the goal, to finish before opening night. You all know that. Now, I want to also let you know something else. If you did not watch yesterday's video, you're probably not aware, but I have been having microphone issues recently. Now, when I go to edit my videos, I try to cut out the parts that sound like absolute crap, but I just wanted to let you know if, something doesn't seem absolutely perfect or not the quality and the standard that I am typically putting out, I apologize. I am working on it. I have no idea what's wrong. The mic isn't that old. My computer's like 4 months old. So yeah, I don't know, but I will certainly, work my best, and I want to make sure you guys have an enjoyable experience when you're watching these videos. So just wanted to let you know that. Excited for this one today. Grizzlies fans, you guys are going to have a fantastic season next year. Let's go make a championship happen. Now that we are about less than a month away until the NBA season actually tips off, I've been looking at more and more projections just to see where people think all these NBA teams are going to end up record-wise, all the awards prediction, all that fun stuff. This is typically always the time of year I start researching some of that and see, what's out there. Now, what people have not been doing is respecting the Memphis Grizzlies. For what reason? I'm not sure. Maybe people just forgot about them, but this Memphis team has been a true contender, and I'm not saying they're up there with like the top of the top, but to exclude them from, playoff conversations and like top 5 seeds is just absolutely crazy. I think people are forgetting how dangerous this team can be when fully healthy. So let's go ahead and talk about this roster, because again, I don't think they're getting the credit that they rightfully deserve. So starting out here at the point guard spot, Ja Morant has obviously been, one of the better players, at the point guard spot, especially since he came into the league. He's 25 years old. He is a 90 overall. He's the face of this franchise, and there's pretty much a 0% chance that he's going to be going anywhere. So, I'm very excited to see, how far Ja can take us today, because again, almost similar to what I was just talking about with the whole team. People are kind of forgetting about Ja Morant. So I think people are going to remember him pretty quick once the ball goes up in the air next NBA season. Oh, my glorious king, Mr. Marcus Smart. I miss you every single day, my friend. Of course, Celtics fan here if you didn't know that. But Marcus Smart was, the pride, the joy, the heart, the soul of the Celtics. Had to be dealt away in that 3-team deal that obviously landed Boston. Kristaps Porzingis did play a little bit last season for Memphis. How many games did he play, actually? It was, I can probably find it somewhere. Games. Just fucking tell me. 20 games. He played 20 games for the Grizzlies last season, of course. Had an injury, did not really, get a full season under his belt, his first time being, away from the Celtics. So, I hope Marcus absolutely thrives in this environment. Of course, he is one of 2 defensive players of the year that is actually on this team. Derrick Rose is not going to be here. He actually got waived earlier this week in real life. 2K just, of course, hasn't updated anything. So I will do that. I don't know if Derrick Rose's career is officially over. I hope it is not, but it very well, may be, unfortunately. All right, Desmond Bane here at the shooting guard spot. Now listed at an 83 overall, 26 years old, obviously has been, paid. He's on a long-term contract, and he is, in my opinion anyways, one of the more underrated shooting guards in all of basketball. I think people do forget, and I know that's been a big theme of today's video, and I'll try to stop saying it, but just how good Desmond Bane can be. Is he up there with, the Anthony Edwards and the Devin Bookers and the Donovan Mitchells of the world? I don't know if I'd quite put him there, but he is a very serviceable shooting guard, and he's going to probably be my number 2 option here today. You got Luke Kennard, very talented 3-point shooter, ended up bringing him back this. You got 2K. Please do something about that picture. Those eyes, they scare the living shit out of me every single time I look at them. And it's terrible. It really is. It is. John Conchar is here, also on a multi-year contract. Now, at a 72 overall, there's probably not a lot of value in him playing here today. If he was a 20-year-old 72 overall, maybe, but at 28, locked up on a long-term deal, there's probably not much I'm going to be doing with him. The small forward spot, Gigi Jackson, of course, was one of the few bright spots for this team last year. Second-round pick in the 2023 draft, and I think actually still the youngest player in the NBA, or at least he was last season. I don't know if that's still the case, but he was absolutely fantastic for this team, and he is somebody that I am very much going to try to continue to develop throughout the course of today's video, and maybe have him as my starting small forward or power forward the entire time today. Vince Williams Jr. is certainly a nice role piece. He's a guy who can obviously play a little bit of defense at that age where I think, it makes a lot of sense to, invest in him as a player long term, and I love that contract. Jalen Wells is here. He was their second round pick this year out of Washington State at a 68 overall. We'll see how much, higher that overall can get. Maybe a little bit older as a rookie at 21, so we will keep an eye on that. You got Santi Aldama, 23, Jake LaRavia, 22. Obviously, both relatively young power forward options here. I'll be honest with you right off the rip, I don't know if either of these guys is going to start at the 4 because I kind of want to start Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. is nearly 7 feet tall. There is certainly nothing wrong with him from a frame or a size reason that he couldn't start at the center spot. It's really just that I think he's a much better fit at the 4, and to be honest with you, he's not the strongest rebounder for somebody who is almost 7 feet tall. So Jaren Jackson Jr., obviously former defensive player of the year, and he is, second highest player on this team. Second highest overall player on this team. Okay. Brandon Clark here as well. Really solid backup center option. And of course, the man of the hour, Mr. Zach Edey. Purdue legend, I guess at this point, 7'5", was taken number 9 overall in this last year's draft. So I want to develop Zach Edey. I don't know if he'll be a day one starter. He very well could be. I just haven't, made that decision yet. So I'm excited about this team. I really do think that they are going to be, back in the mix. Hopefully no injuries, because God, that just killed them last year after the jaw suspension. But I like this team quite a bit, and honestly, they're one of my favorite teams in the league, if I'm being honest with you. So excited for this one today. We may have a trade or two. Our first and only trade before we kick off year one is going to be an interesting and maybe almost comical one. Now, we're doing this deal here with the Miami Heat. We're basically swapping Luke Kennard for Duncan Robinson. There's really no rhyme or reason that I'm doing this except for the fact that Duncan Robinson has an extra year on his contract. So, they're both white guys that can shoot the basketball. It's, not exactly rocket science. So we will give up a second round pick, but to add on, another year of guarantee and a guy that won't really hit free agency, feels like a pretty good deal to me. So that's actually going to be our one and only trade. I've made decisions on all 5 of the starters and all 5 of my bench guys. So let's set that rotation. Rotation is officially set. We are ready to go here for year one in Memphis. You all have eyeballs, so you can see the decision we made. And we are going to be starting Zach Edey. Now, I don't know if that is going to be the best decision in, a championship, hopefully year. But I just think with the way this team's set up, we're going to have success down the line as well. This isn't a team full of 35-year-old aging players. This is a team that is still relatively young. So let's start the rookie at the center spot, who I think is going to be an impactful NBA player. Many people believe this game's not going to translate just because it's, not the 80s anymore, but I think Zach Edey will be just fine. I don't know if they're actually going to start him in real life. That's just what we're doing here today. It is John Morant, Desmond Bane, G.G. Jackson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and then Zach Edey as our starting center. Again, a couple surprises in there maybe. Bench unit, it's going to be led by Marcus Smart. Hopefully he takes over and is an impactful 6-man. You got Brandon Clark. Now, I wanted to play him a decent amount of minutes as the backup center just because, again, Edey is a relatively low overall. Vince Williams Jr. in here, Duncan Robinson, who we obviously just acquired with a deal in a deal with the Miami. There we go. And then Santi Aldama is going to be rounding out the rotation. So Scottie Pippen Jr. is on a 2-way. Did they guarantee his deal? I'm not sure about that. Jalen Wells, John Conchar, Cam Spencer. These guys just aren't really going to play, unfortunately. So we're in a pretty good spot right now. Of course, here in 2K in an unrealistic rebuild, we do not play with injuries on. So that is definitely going to be to our benefit. Hopefully, Taylor Jenkins can lead us to the promised land. I will see you guys at the end of year one. Year one's over. Year one has officially ended, and if I have a surprised look on my face, that would be because I am fucking surprised. 42-40? Really? I gave a whole speech, all that stuff about how I think Memphis is going to be back with a vengeance this season. True contender, all that fun stuff. I don't even know if we're in the playoffs. Disappointed. That would be an understatement. Let me guess. Luka Doncic MVP. Reza Shea, Rookie of the Year? Yep. Let me guess. Men Thompson? Yep. Victor Wembanyama? Yep. Men Thompson Most Improved? No, it's Cade Cunningham, Clutch Player of the Year. Steph Curry? No, it's LeBron. Actually, don't see that, surprisingly, as much as you maybe should. And then Tom Thibodeau, actually. Typically, it's Jason Kidd here in year one. All right, that makes some things up, I guess. All right, very, very sad and unfortunate first season for us. Oh, my God, are we not even... Missed the play-in. Wow. 42-40 insane. I mean, it's crazy to think that we're like realistically like 6 games off of being like a 4 seed, but it is what it is. Here is a look at the East. Let's go over some numbers real quick. All across the board. Points per game, it was Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, really solid second option. Triple J. So, I mean, these 3 were fine in the points per game department. Ja was getting it done in the assist field as well. I'd like that field goal percentage to be a little higher for a guy that's damn near 7 feet tall, but I can live with it. GG Jackson, Marcus Smart, Brandon Clark. Oh, boy. Yeah, this may have been a mistake. Okay. Now, I'm not saying Zach Edey was going to come in and, put up 20 and 10, but like, I don't know, say, 10 points, 8 boards, something like that. Not the end of the world. And then Santi Aldama. Rebounds led by Zach Edey, and assists was Ja Morant. So, yeah, did not think, I'd be missing the playoffs here in year 1, but of course these videos are always full of surprises. Anthony Edwards, 44.5 points a game in conference finals. God damn it, 2K. Jalen Brunson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Knicks in Thunder. Knicks and Timberwolves would actually be a really fun NBA Finals. Anthony Edwards, your Finals MVP. They defeat the New York Knicks in 7 games. Okay, it is offseason time. LeBron James, CP3, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love, Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan. Whole lot of names calling it a career. Jersey retirements, cool player. Oh, no, draft lottery. Technically, we're in this, I think, right? Yes, we are. Projected the 12th overall pick. Did not want to be back here in the lottery. I'm not going to lie to you, but we are. And we end up sitting right there at number 12. So, yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to say Taylor Jenkins is blameless because that would be insane. But with only 1 year remaining on his deal, I will let him, I guess, ride it out. And his job security is going to depend a lot on how next season goes, especially with the full offseason under our belt. So we'll go from there. Let's see what we got here in terms of the draft. It is just the number 12 overall pick. I'll actually use it. 12 is, low enough but high enough where maybe I can still get an impactful player. So Dylan Harper, oh my God, Cooper Flagg fell to 4. That's insane. Let's just see. Who's sitting here? Trey Johnson is somebody I've drafted in the past, had a little success with. Michael Ruzic, Jalil Bethea, Drake Powell. I think Trey Johnson's going to be my guy. And I say that because Duncan Robinson, that trade we made, was really just to have a contract to maybe trade this offseason. So Trey Johnson, welcome to the team. Potential my new backup shooting guard, 6'6", 185 pounds out of Texas, 76 overall. It's actually not bad. I will bring back Jake LaRavia as we look ahead to qualifying offers. Scottie Pippen Jr. is actually 75. You know what I'll do? I'll actually qualify him, and then if he accepts the qualifying, he can just be a depth piece for me, and if not, I'm not going to match the deal. Santi Aldama, I will give a qualifying to as well. So, free agency here. Santi Aldama is kind of our only major free agent, it looks like. I do think it would be insane to kind of just run things back the way it just was, so we will be making some trades. We are re-signing Santi Aldama to a 3-year, roughly $23.5 million contract. You might be asking yourself, well, why are you sitting here in free agency when you said you were going to make a trade? And let me tell you this, it's because the player that I want to trade for is actually a free agent, so I have to wait for him to re-sign or sign with a different team and anything fun like that. And he is, yes, he's gone. Okay, let's go ahead and find myself Mr. Miles Turner. That is who I am looking to trade for right now. Currently making $26 million. I'd be willing to offer Brandon Clark. I'd be willing to offer Duncan Robinson. And God damn it, Indiana, can we just shake hands and make a deal? Come on. If you want Jake LaRavia, fuck, they can't afford him. Could you afford maybe Jalen Wells? Nope, can't afford him either. It is basically just draft picks at this point that we are going to be trading. And although I do not want to trade a bunch of draft picks for, really anybody, not a Miles Turner thing, just anybody, it is, what we had to do. So Miles Turner going to take over our center spot. I think there's a fair argument that would say that Zach Edey would likely be better than he was his rookie season, next year, but we're in a championship window. I'm not going to, blow a year for development when it just, flat out didn't work in year 1. So Turner going to take over the center spot. We are now in a position where, I could consider a small forward upgrade, but I think I'm going to let it go for maybe one more season. Johnson's going to be the new backup behind Desmond Bane. You still got Smart. How many years does Conchar have left? Because I'll actually keep him on the bench. He's 2. Okay, I'll keep him on the bench as a trade piece potentially. But what I'm not going to do is hang on to Jake LaRavia, knowing damn well I'm probably just going to let him go. So if I can recoup one of those draft picks that we did just give up. Ooh, Hunter Tyson. Could be a trade piece. That we just gave up to land Miles Turner, I will certainly do so. Thank you very much, Atlanta Hawks. Okay, I will see you guys at the start of year 2. Last year was a disappointment. There is no denying that. This offseason we went ahead and addressed and fixed some of the issues that I thought this team had, and we are back, hopefully with a vengeance this time. It is Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, GG Jackson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and new addition, Mr. Miles Turner here at the center spot. I think, a clear-cut upgrade at the center spot, and honestly, one of the one of the more underrated big men in the league for a long time here in Miles Turner, in my opinion, is going to be, a seamless fit with this group. Marcus Smart will remain my 6th man off the bench, Vince Williams Jr., Zach Edey, Trey Johnson, and Santi Aldama. So I'm excited for this year. I am very much hopeful we will be back in the playoffs, and let's just go do that and win a lot of games. Somebody besides Luka finally won an MVP. It was unfortunately still not a good season for us. 46 and 36. Not really sure what's going on. You know, sometimes these things just don't go according to plan, and today is definitely one of those cases. Anthony Edwards is your MVP. Damn near 39 points a game. He legitimately might be Michael Jordan reincarnated. Dylan Harper, your Rookie of the Year. Anthony Simons, sixth man. Wemby, another deep boy. Bones Highland, Anthony Edwards, and Jason Kidd, your Coach of the Year. All right, we are obviously not happy right now. We end up in the play-in, so at least we have a punching chance, if you will, at a playoff spot. Here's a look at the Eastern Conference. It's funny, we would have been a fucking 4 seed in the East. It's funny because honestly, if NBA ever adds expansion teams, which they probably will in the next 3 to 4 years, Memphis could be one of the teams that gets moved to the East. Them, Minnesota, maybe even New Orleans. Like, there's a couple different possibilities because I'm assuming the expansion teams are going to be Vegas. Maybe they bring back the Supersonics, all that shit. You get my fucking point. All right, let's go over the numbers real quick. Let's see how things are going. Ja Morant did lead us in scoring. Desmond Bain, I'm kind of a little confused. Everything here looks relatively well spread out. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to check some, team stats. I don't look at this tab often, but when things aren't really going my way, I do like to just check it out. So points per game, where did we end up? I'm looking for Grizzlies. We ended up, okay, this might be the problem. We are 111.5 points per game, which is what, 8th worst in the league? It's 8th worst in the league. And then defensively, we should be pretty strong. Let's just see where we are. Okay, so we're the best defensive team in the league. What is our differential? Our differential, something here is off because our differential ranked 8th in all of basketball, and we are, a playing team winning 46 games. So, something here, maybe it's just how good the West is, but something feels a little off. I'm not going to lie. Here's a look at the Golden State Warriors. We win this matchup. We are the 2 seed. We lose. We'll face the winner of 9v10. We end up losing. It is going to be us and the Los Angeles Lakers, and the winner of this is going to face the Demons over there in Dallas. Okay, wow, a couple different changes here for the Lakers. Looks like LeBron obviously retired. They added Jalen Duren. We can beat this team. We do. All right, so we are in the playoffs, which is good news, and I will take it. But I have a feeling this playoff run might not be very long, considering how things have gone for us so far. We do win game 1 on their home floor, and game 2. Okay. No. 2K. I'm not playing these games with you today. Thank you. All right, we go up 3-0. We then lose 3 straight, but we do win Game 7 on their home floor. So, all right, we somehow, made it through Dallas, which is a surprise considering how much 2K loves them. We now move on to another really, really good and deep team here in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Also win Game 1 on their home floor. They do win Game 2. We go down 2-1. Fuck. We just got gentlemen swept. Disappointing. Disappointing. Anthony Edwards, it's what the fuck? Okay. Some things are going to have to change this offseason. Oh my God, I didn't even see this. Wow. A head is going to have to roll, as they say, because there's no way that I can continue, like this. So let's sim through the lottery. The Miami Heat end up with the number 1 overall pick. Taylor Jenkins is gone. I know, all things considered, he didn't do, maybe the worst job in the world, but he obviously struggled throughout the regular season and put us in a position that we shouldn't be in. So we're going to make a change. I think this could be, wow, okay. Probably not getting Mike Stauffer. Could I get Joe Mazzulla? Could I get Jason Kidd? I need somebody here. One of you, please. Oh, my God. I'm fucked. I am fucking Jimmy cooked is what I am right now. Will Hardy's sitting here. He actually has some pretty good ratings. I'd give him a flyer. And then, honestly, would I take Jenkins or would I take Underwood? Here's my problem. I don't think Taylor Jenkins, I thought that was D'Angelo Russell for a second. I don't think Taylor Jenkins deserves to have his job back, but given the other candidates that are here, Kenny Atkinson wouldn't maybe be the worst in the world. Man. All right. I will give Underwood, and then what I'll do is I'll also offer Jenkins, and he'll be my last choice. Okay. Underwood accepts. Jenkins is not even interested in coming back. All right, Jacob Underwood. I've won with him in the past. Hopefully this is going to be no exception. Let's head up to the draft. We have the 3rd and 8th overall pick in round 2. I'm going to use neither of these. Really? All right, you know what? Fuck it. We'll trade for the 1st overall pick in round 2 and then just see who's sitting there. Probably just going to be a trade piece. Malachi Moreno, welcome to the team. 7. Oh, shit. I didn't realize he was a center. All right, he is going to be a 71 overall. Team player options, G.G. Jackson, Zach Edey. I have to consider all possibilities, right? I think we're at a point in this video where clearly we have not, done enough to keep this entire team intact, but I'm also not going to be naive enough to just completely blow it up. So what we're going to do right now, maybe Scottie Pippen Jr. deserves a little money too. We're actually going to pay everybody. I'm going to get super cheesy right now. I really am. O'Shea Brissett, my GOAT, thank you very much. And I will see you guys with the trade. As impactful as all of these players that I'm offering this deal, could be, have been, all that fun stuff, I need an upgrade. I need to make an upgrade, and Brandon Ingram would certainly be that at my small forward spot. So Marcus Smart would be in this deal. I know we just re-signed him. It's an unrealistic rebuild. Who cares? He would be in this deal because I think there's going to be some regression on the way for Marcus. Look, I love Marcus, but he's 32 years old. We know damn well how 2K works, and Scottie Pippen Jr. actually could be a relatively bright spot for us. So him, John Conchar, Vince Williams Jr. is only included in this deal. One, because he's a relatively valuable trade asset, and then two, because G.G. Jackson would just slide to the bench. Malachi Moreno, who we just drafted, and then Jalen Wells. All right, can we make a deal? No. Okay. I do have some first-round draft picks that I could maybe include in the deal. They take it. All right, welcome to the team, Brandon Ingram. He is a nice, upgrade at the small forward spot. There was, ultimately nothing really wrong with the way G.G. Jackson was playing, considering his role, but I needed an overall upgrade for, lack of a better term. So I'm not really sure what else needs to change. I mean, I could consider a Desmond Bane, move, but I don't really know if that's necessary, right? Like, what am I getting if I trade Desmond Bane? Like, just curious. If I do this, like, what are the offers? What do they look like? Unless there is a shooting guard here that I can just tell you with confidence is damn well better. Could get Cat. I don't really need him, though. All right. I'm cool. I'm cool for now. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. Okay. Blockbuster trade has been made. Blockbuster trade has been made. We are here at the start of year 3 right now, and we just made a very big deal. We sent out Desmond Bane, basically every single draft pick we have in the future, and we landed Jalen Green. Now, Jalen Green is up to an 88 overall. His numbers are pretty good, and there was honestly nothing wrong with Desmond Bane's numbers. But in a year that is championship or bust, in a season that, is really do or die, right? I mean, this is a team that hadn't even made it to a conference finals yet, and we need to win a championship. So we made a major swing adding Jalen Green, and that's that. Let's set the rotation. We had a lot of high hopes coming into this video. We had wishes, we had dreams, and unfortunately none of it has come true so far. We have finally reached the point in the video where it is make or break. It is now, it is never, and it is a really good team. There is no doubts about that. This is a group that has immense talent. Obviously, 2 new starters with Jalen Green and with Brandon Ingram. And I'm not really sure what to do if this team can't win it all. So John Morant, Jalen Green, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Miles Turner. Now, I will also say the bench unit has improved. That being one, the development of Trey Johnson up to an 82 overall. And second, obviously moving G.G. Jackson from the starting 5 into a 7th-man role. So kind of feel bad because he's good and all that fun stuff, but we had to get better. Zach Edey remains my backup center. You got Santi Aldama in here, and then Scottie Pippen Jr., who I mean, it was kind of just here the entire video. I qualified him a couple times. He ended up accepting, and then we actually paid him a little bit this offseason. So 77 overall, 10th man on the bench. It is all, by the way, under new head coach Jacob Underwood. So here goes nothing. I mean, it is now or never. I will see you guys at the end of year 3. Luka Doncic, MVP. It's in a Warriors jersey this time, though. That's a shock. That's going to, take some adjusting. All right, let's talk about it. This was the first season we have finally, simulated to the end to that it didn't feel like an insane disappointment. Record is 66-16, and honestly, I am happy and thankful and hoping 2K gives me a little bit of love right now because I cannot not win a championship. Not. Okay. Yeah, Luka in a Warriors jersey. That's fucking insane. AJ Demancey, Rookie of the Year. You got Cam Thomas, 6th man. Victor Wembanyama, EJ Edgecombe, Nikola Jokic. Our guy, Mr. Jacob Underwood, his first year as our head coach, is winning Coach of the Year. All right, let's go over the standings. We are the 1 seed, up 7 games out in the Golden State Warriors. I do not want to see Luke. Steph retired. Okay, that's the good news that they're not in the backcourt together. But all right, numbers all across the board. Here's how it looks. Honestly, everything is cool with me. Rebounds per game was Turner, and assists was John Morant. So, facing a play-in team, that play-in team is the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green's old team, even though we didn't trade for Jalen Green from Houston. He actually went to Utah. And then we traded for him. You get my fucking point. Okay, let's sim for round 1. I think this team is definitely beatable. They're good, but I think we are definitely much better. As we go up 3-0, we end up sweeping. Now, we move on to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Definitely not my favorite matchup in the world for, obvious reasons. So, here goes nothing. We lose game 1. Win game 2. Fuck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Holy shit, that would have sucked. Here's a look at the Warriors. Luka has replaced Steph Curry. Still got Pajemski. Jimmy Butler also here. You got Jonathan Kuminga, Nikola Vucevic now. So, they've kind of basically just kicked out the entire like when an era ends, when a Steph Curry era ends, you're supposed to go into a rebuild. They obviously decided to go in a different direction, and now they are back in the West Finals, where they basically just kind of lived for a very long time. We are up 2-1. They tie it up at 2s. We go up 3-2. Don't do this, 2K. I'm gonna simcast this. Like, that's how much I need this. Come on. I need to be in the finals. I need to be in the finals. I need to. Come on. Hold on. Hold on to that lead. Do not choke. I will lose my fucking mind. Please. Thank you. All right. They still give Luka Western Conference Finals MVP. It is us and the Toronto Raptors. Emmanuel quickly. Now, I do not want to sit here and discredit the Raptors, because although on paper they may not look like the biggest threat in the world, I have lost some series in recent rebuilds to Toronto that I also thought the same thing. I thought they were nowhere near as good as my team. So I'm going to go game by game. We are going to keep a close eye on all of this. Up 2-1. Here we go. This is what I'm telling you. We do win, though. We get the championship done, and Ja Morant, your finals MVP. My God, this was stressful, to say the least. I mean, came into this video with a mindset that we had, an already extremely talented and kind of competent core. And, while I think a lot of those things stand true, that what I said earlier in the video, 2K apparently did not. They were not a fan of this team that we, had constructed and made 2 major moves the last offseason and ended up getting it done. So this one was fun, though. I am excited to watch, Ja Morant and this team actually, hopefully compete on a, healthy team this year, because they are very, very fun to watch. And so, all right, man. Let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. This one was stressful, and hopefully the next one will not be as stressful. So that's it for me, man. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.